Hi guys, and I'm Retro Critic here, and today I'm going to review and talk about Mario. I mean, who doesn't love Mario? Mario is such a lovable character. I mean, I love his games, and I always do like Mario games. Mario games are just fun once in a while, for the most part. But so today I'm going to review and talk about Mario games, and we're going to review and talk about the early games of 2D Mario and where Mario started. So today I'm going to talk about and I'm going to talk briefly of the history of Mario, and I'm going to talk about a little history of Mario games, and so on and so forth, and let's get started. So guys, let's get started, and guys, let's see for ourselves and check out these Mario games. Mario. And I love Mario, and who doesn't love Mario? And let's talk about these games, and these games are going to be interesting, and let's go check out these nice games, and let's go check out these Mario games. So now let's start where Mario came from, and Mario is a plumber, and he first appeared in a game called Donkey Kong, where he's a hero, and he's saving a girl from Donkey Kong. And it's where he's saving his girlfriend from Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong kidnaps her, and it's where Donkey Kong kidnaps her girlfriend. And Donkey Kong throws barrels at you, and later you have to jump over the barrels that Donkey Kong throws at you. And later Mario saves the day here, and Mario has to fight Donkey Kong, and then Mario fights Donkey Kong, and then Donkey Kong gets defeated and destroyed, and Donkey Kong just falls down to his death, I assume. And Mario is the hero, and he saves the day. Now, in the later Donkey Kong games, Mario is the villain, for now, for no reason, he captures Donkey Kong. And it's where you play Donkey Kong Jr. But later you beat Mario. So later in the Donkey Kong games, Mario is the villain in them, except for 3. In Donkey Kong 2, Donkey Kong Jr., and in Donkey Kong 2 and Donkey Kong Jr. it's called, Mario is the villain, he kidnaps Donkey Kong, and you have to beat Mario. And then you beat Mario, and you save Donkey Kong, and you do similar things in Donkey Kong 3. And in Donkey Kong 3, you play Mario or some plumber again, and then you fight Donkey Kong and in Donkey Kong 3, you play Mario again, and this time he's the good guy, or he plays some kind of plumber. But Mario, and he fights Donkey Kong again for some reason. I guess Donkey Kong's the villain, Mario's the hero again. So Mario, this plumber guy, or whoever this plumber guy is, and whoever this random plumber guy is, really, you have to fight Donkey Kong, but then you beat Donkey Kong, and that's it, and that's pretty much the game, and that's pretty much the ending of the game there, and that's pretty much all what happens in that game. That's pretty much all I have to say about in that game. So that was Donkey Kong 3. So later there was a game called Mario Brothers, and it's just called Mario Brothers. And it's where you play Mario, and we were first introduced to Luigi, and you play Luigi too. And you, Mario, and his brother Luigi are plumbers that accidentally fallen into the Mushroom Kingdom. And it's where you're fighting the enemies of the game, and it's where you're fighting enemies, which are the Koopas and the Goombas. In the sewers, and you're fighting them in the sewers. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's literally the game. I mean, even though this is like basically the first Mario Brothers game, there's not a whole lot to say, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all I have to say about that. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say about this game, so let's move on to the next one. And so that was Mario Brothers, and let's move on to the next game. In the pipeline, and you're fighting them in the sewers, in the pipeline sewers, and the Koopa Goombas, and the enemies Koopa Goombas come out of the pipelines, come out of a bunch of plumbers fixing the pipelines and coming out and fighting the Koopas and Goombas in the sewers. Later, we finally have Super Mario Brothers, and Super Mario Brothers is the first real Mario game. And it's where you're in the Mushroom Kingdom, and you have to fight the enemies of the game, and the Koopas and the Goombas. And the enemies of the game are the Koopas and the Goombas. And you have to save Princess Peach from Bowser, who Bowser kidnapped Princess Peach. You have to save Princess Peach, who Bowser kidnapped. And Bowser is this big turtle with spikes, and he breathes fire, and he's a big fire-breathing turtle with spikes. And he looks awesome, and he has to be the most awesome-looking villain character in a video game I have ever seen. And you use this star, and this star gives you a power-up move, and the star gives you a power-up, and you hit your enemy, and you're invincible, and you hit all your enemies, and you become invincible after you get the golden star. And you have to fight Bowser. Bowser is the main villain of the game. And Bowser's basically the main villain of the whole series. And you have to fight Bowser to save Peach, and later you save Peach from Bowser. And then you have to save Peach from Bowser, and then you fight Bowser. Then Bowser gets defeated and destroyed, and later Peach kisses you in the end of the game, and the game ends there. And that was Super Mario Brothers. And that was the first Mario game. So now, we're at Super Mario Brothers 2. And in Super Mario Brothers 2, it's where Mario has fallen into the realm of King Wart's kingdom. And it's where King Wart wants to take over the Mushroom Kingdom. And you have to stop him, and you have to save the world. And so in this game, King Wart is a frog, and he's an evil frog king, and he looks cool. And he does look cool in this game. And I think he's alright, and I think in this game, you play Toad and Peach for the first time. And I do find it cool that you play Toad and Peach in this game once in a while. And the bosses of the game are cool here, and I do like the bosses that you have to fight here, and they're really fun to fight. And I also like the boss Mauser. I always like the boss Mauser. Mauser's a fun boss. Then you fight King Wart, and then King Wart gets defeated and destroyed, and then you stopped him, and then you saved the world, and that was Super Mario Brothers 2. And there's not much to say about this game too, so that was Super Mario Brothers 2, and there's not much to say about this game too, and that's it, bye. So then there is Super Mario Brothers 3. And Super Mario Brothers 3 was epic back in the day. And so it's about where Bowser returns, and he's back bigger and badder than ever, and Bowser wants to take over the Mushroom Kingdom, and you have to stop him and save the world. And the enemies of the game, which are the Koopas and the Goombas, this is the first time that you fly in this game, and we're introduced to Raccoon Mario, and that the Raccoon Mario power-up is where you can fly in the air in this game, and it's a power-up move, by the way, if you're wondering, and it's where you can. And it's a power-up move, and it's where you can fly in the air in this game. And it's where you can fly in the air in this game. It's where you can fly. And there are bosses here, and there are bosses here. And then you do have to fight the bosses here. And they're pretty cool, and they're pretty good here. And this is the first time that we are introduced, and this is the first game that introduces the Koopalings. And the Koopalings are Bowser's adopted children. And Bowser has 7 adopted children in this. And Bowser has 7, and the Koopalings are Bowser's 7 adopted children. Later, he has 8 children if you want to count Bowser Jr. In this game. And the Koopalings bosses are fun and hard at the same time. And these bosses can be difficult once in a while, but as you get used to them, these bosses can get pretty easy. Many times these bosses can get pretty fun once in a while. And then later you beat the Koopalings and the other bosses. And then later you fight Bowser, and then you fight Bowser, and then Bowser gets defeated and destroyed. And that was the Koopalings. Oh, and that was the Koopalings. And you do fight the Koopalings. The Koopalings are easy. And then you stopped Bowser. And then you saved the world. And so that was Super Mario Bros. 3. And there's not much to say here. And that was Super Mario Bros. 3. And that was my thoughts on Super Mario Bros. 3. And there's not much to say here. So yeah, so that's all to say. Okay, bye. So then we get on to Super Mario World. So then we get into Super Mario World. And in Super Mario World, it takes place in the prehistoric era. It takes place in the dinosaur world era. And well, that's just and why? Well, that's just because because there's no explanation, and it just wants to take place in the prehistoric dinosaur world. And in the dinosaur world, just because. And there's no reason, and there's no follow-up of this timeline, and there's no follow-up in this era, so I guess we have to assume that the creators of the game just felt like it, and that they want to take place in have dinosaurs in prehistoric. They want to take place in prehistoric era, I think it's just because the creators of the game just want to make it like a dinosaur world, a dinosaur game, but with Mario. And so the story of the game is about where you have to fight Bowser, and Bowser returned, and you have to fight Bowser and the Koopalings in this game, because why? Well, that's just because, and why? Well, that's just because Bowser and the Koopalings just wants to do evil things, and they're just evil, and that they want to take over the world just because. And so you later fight the enemies of the game, which are the Koopas and Goombas. And the enemies of the game, which are the Koopas and the Goombas. And let's not forget the bosses of the game. You do fight a lot of bosses, and then you fight the bosses of the game. And the bosses of the game are really good here, and I do like the bosses of the game. And then you have to fight the Koopalings, and then you later beat the Koopalings. And this is the first game that introduces Yoshi to us. And you can hop on top and ride Yoshi in this game. And you can ride and move Yoshi in this game. And Yoshi can jump and fly, and he can eat his enemies and spit them out. And you can hit your enemies, and you can hit your enemies, and you can eat your enemies and then spit them out. And you have Yoshi jump and fly in the air in this game. And that's what you do with Yoshi in this game. That's what you do with Yoshi in this game. And Yoshi is just so much fun in this game, and I like him a lot. And Yoshi has to be my favorite character in this game, and he has a lot of fun, and I like him a lot. And he is great, and he is a good character to move. And he is great, and he is a good character to move. And then you later fight Bowser, and then Bowser gets defeated and destroyed. And then you beat him, and then you save the world, and that was Super Mario World. And then you fight the bosses of the game, blah, blah. And there's not much to say, and that was Super Mario World, and there's not really much I have to really say about this. So guys, that was the 2D Mario games. And that was a brief history of the early Mario games. And that was the Mario games. And those are my thoughts on these Mario games. So that was the Mario games, and I really liked them a lot, and they were really so much fun. And they were really entertaining and enjoyable to play. The Mario games are really good. They're really great. The Mario games have such an adventure to them. So guys, I'm Retro Critic, and I'm out. And I'll see you guys later, and I'll see you guys around, and peace out, and bye.